Good morning, everyone. Lily Bam Johnson here. Once again, started this morning, 3:37, 2 days in a row. I'm here this morning to talk to you about the manual I wrote when I was incarcerated called Street Combat, your personal guide to self-defense. When I came about the development of this whole structure of street combat, it was really to help people understand how to deal with me. I'm not bragging. I'm not claiming to be the toughest and baddest guy on the planet. But I was able to get away with a lot of things that I should have got caught for and got locked up for. So I understand a lot of the paths that I went down that were really negative and devastating. It was me paying the piper. We will never be exempt from the chaos and negativity that we bring in the world. Some way, somehow, we will all have to pay the piper. We can man up and woman up and surrender and go through that process humbly and accepting that it is our lot because of what we have did in the past, just so we won't carry that over to another generation, our kids, our family, our friends, the people we mentor, etc. So when I was incarcerated, I knew that people needed to understand the predator that I was, the one that was stalking the streets. Even before I picked up the drug or the drink, or even got the package, I was still crazy. You know, from being abused and being beat down and being humiliated by teachers, family, police officers, you name it. For all those times people rejected my dreams and made me feel like I was nothing, I began a quest to fight and prove, not to myself, but to the world. Because I didn't know that the most important person I needed to prove things to was myself. And I would do any and everything to prove to you that I was worthy of your respect. And when we are put in situations where people abuse us and hate on us and put us down and do whatever they can do to humiliate us, as a predator, when you go into that moment of stalking and preying on other people, like you feel like you don't have any choice, and you will do whatever it takes to get what you want. I mean, now it's one thing when you do it because you're trying to and you gain some sort of acceptance and thinking that that's going to really establish a true strength, essence, or what true self-esteem and character is all about. But it's another thing when you say forget it. Forget all y'all. I don't care nothing about the police. I don't care nothing about the judge. I don't care nothing about the FBI. I don't care nothing about none of y'all, because I'm going out like a soldier. So you better bring it, because it's going to be me or you. When you're dealing with somebody with that mentality and they don't care about dying, because they already know they're going to die anyway, and they accept that the world is counting them out, and they accept that regardless of what they do, people continue to try to suppress them, and they say, man, forget it, I'm going out like a soldier. Oh man, you better watch out for them, because they don't feel no pain. They don't care nothing about no jail. They don't care nothing about no incarceration. They don't care nothing about none of the negativity. As a matter of fact, they're motivated by the negativity. And I was one of them people, man. So I put them drugs and alcohol and all this stuff in my system, because it just made me stronger. It made me angrier and meaner, and it made me a person who had no feelings. I cared nothing about no one, felt nothing for no one. I was just gone. And I dared you to come out and do your martial arts and do whatever you claim to do. Didn't care. Thank God the times that I pulled that trigger, I never pulled that trigger and took a life. I never, I was so afraid fronting and perpetrating that I was aiming, but I made sure I aimed it a little far to the right, a little far to the left, or a little bit up, or a little bit down, because I ain't want to kill nobody. Always been a person of peace. But when I had to live up to that mentality of being a predator and putting them drugs and the drink and whatever in my system, man, I had to go out like a soldier. The worst thing that I could have ever done to myself was to just give up and have no respect for living, for loving myself. You know, I done went so far down. The only thing I never did was maybe put a needle in my arm. But I did everything else. I was gone. I did not care. I loved the lifestyle. And I'm telling you today, if I could be able to still live that lifestyle, and if I didn't have a family and didn't have kids and didn't have to deal with the consequences, which I know the consequences of being a predator, the ends are all the same. Jails, institutions, and death. I done been in jails, I done been in institutions. The last thing for me is death. So let me tell you the principles of a predator. Let me tell you how I looked at them and what I used and what I did and how I became successful on that level as well. It wasn't just being a champ in the martial arts. Well, I got that title out there on the street too, in the game, the hustling game. And my first principle was that I had a goal. I was going to destroy anybody or anything that stood in my way from me committing my crime. I'm telling you, I know what the books say. I know what people say in all these reality combat tapes, in these seminars, in these articles. But don't nobody out there care about your martial arts. They don't care nothing about no UFC. They don't care nothing about none of that. They got a goal, and that's to get away with committing a crime. You got a goal to win a title. You got a goal to feed your family. You got a goal to show up on your job. You got a goal to save your business. Well, guess what? On the street, we got a goal to earn a rep and protect our hood and get that money and not get caught. That's our goal. And we're not going to stand in our way. And when it comes down to combat, and it comes down to the most committed passion and willing to sacrifice whatever to achieve that goal, is going to win. Heart, commitment, emotional attachment. When you got that, once again, when we go to war and we go to battle, it's the one that got the strongest will and desire to hold on and not quit. It's going to win. And I had a desire to stay alive. I had a desire to live. Even when I hit rock bottom and I was living in alleys and I was living in little old abandoned buildings, wrapping myself up in a carpet and spitting on my hand in the morning and wiping my face so I can go what? Go back out and get that drug and get that high. And when I decided to live and not commit suicide in that jail cell, guess what? I was able to live and I was able to get to where I'm at right now. When I decided to write this book, to share this truth with you, I don't care what nobody say. I know it's the truth. I know that reality. I know what it felt like because I was on both sides. Principle number 2, great energy. From aggressive street fighting, great energy, that's right. When somebody hits you, you better hit them back. That's what I learned. When a cat come and try to take your life, you better go back at them and you better represent. So on that street, when you go to attack somebody, when you go to do whatever, I didn't chase guys down with things that I don't even want to talk about. I didn't do things to best friends, man, because I had to let you know that it wasn't no joke, bro. You weren't going to never do that to me again. I had to run them steps every day from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, no breaks, making contact with thousands of people, day to day. Seeing more things and more capital than you can possibly imagine. But I had no desire to quit. So what I was doing, whatever, so what I was putting drugs in my system, I still ran those steps. And then I went to the club and partied all night. So what you gonna do to stop me when I got that sort of desire and commitment to do whatever? Care nothing about no fitness, care nothing about no cardio, care nothing about no strength. Because if you said drop down and knock out 100 push-ups right there in the hood, I'm gonna knock them out. You say do pull-ups, I'm gonna do it. You know why? Because I got a desire and I got a level of energy that you ain't gonna break, and I'm not gonna be defeated. That's how it is for the predator. I know I was one.